Nguvu la Mwananchi,
nguvu mashinani.
Nguvu la Mwananchi,
nguvu mashinani.
Nguvu la Mwananchi,
nguvu mashinani.
Haya, my name is Komrade Bush. I am the National President of Bunge la Mwananchi, the national office. Okay, today we have convened a sovereign assembly of the people of Kenya, where the primary power is resident. And we are hosted here by Bunge la Mwananchi, Eldoret branch. We have deliberated upon a number of important issues that have a direct bearing on the national political discourse. A number of important resolutions have been passed here, and a number of tasks have been assigned to various personnel. One of those resolutions, number 1, Bunge la Mwananchi, Eldoret branch, joining other Bunge la Mwananchis across the country, 47 of them, have resolved that Solomonic economic wisdom should be and must be the basis of economic, political and social liberation of the Republic of Kenya. Again, Bunge la Mwananchi in its second resolution here at Eldoret has resolved that Professor Fred Ogolla, who has championed this economic model, they have tasked him with the responsibility of forming a political party which will be founded on Solomonic economic wisdom as the basis of that transformation agenda. Number 3, Bunge la Mwananchi has also resolved to start national town hall meetings across the 47 counties to deliberate upon the subject and question of sovereignty of the people. Because if you look at our constitution, Article 1 of the constitution to Article 264 of the constitution, there is no mechanism of recalling the sovereign power of the people that we delegate to the elected officials. Yes. So in Kenya today, we are in a time of grave crisis where the national leadership of the country, instead of advocating a solution to the crisis that we face, they are championing impunity. So the people of Bunge la Mwananchi, honorable members of Bunge la Mwananchi, have resolved that they want to propose an amendment to the Constitution, especially Article 1 of the Constitution, so that a mechanism of recalling the President and the Deputy President be enshrined in the Constitution from May henceforth, so that the people of Kenya cannot wait for another 5 years of misery and suffering under the current regime. So that is also another important resolution that Bunge la Mwananchi has passed today. Another important resolution that has been passed here today is that a national convention will be held at Nairobi, the first parliament, that is the first building of parliament of the Republic of Kenya, Kaloleni Social Hall, where Professor Fred Ogolla, who is the proponent of Solomonic economic wisdom, will address the nation and deliver a public lecture on sovereignty, on how people can recall their elected officials when they cease to champion the causes that brought them into office. Last but not least, as Bunge la Mwananchi, a lot has been happening in the country. We have seen issues of Africa AU. I didn't want to address it here because it is an independent agenda of Bunge la Mwananchi. But because we are in a partnership with Linda Jamii, which is now our official host, I think for the record it should be stated clearly that Linda Jamii and Bunge la Mwananchi have an official affiliation agreement. So we work together. What we agree on, what is passed here on this sovereign assembly, is binding to all Bunge la Mwananchis across the country. So we have deliberated on the question of Africa Union Commission, and the state has supported the bid of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. In principle, as Bunge la Mwananchi, we don't oppose any qualified Africa statesperson or statesman to contest for that position. However, it should be very clear that the binding principle of Bunge la Mwananchi is that state funds or state resources should never and must never be used to champion the individual interest of a politician. We have a lot of issues that we face as a country. Those resources that are supposed to champion that particular bid, we have contracted an expert to give us an estimate of what is needed to champion that bid. And we estimate that around 1.5 trillion would be used to champion that bid. And as Bunge la Mwananchi, we think that money should be channeled to a sector like health sector, for instance, should be channeled to education center, for instance, and we will realize instant transformation in the country. And what is also important is that with Bunge la Mwananchi and Linda Jamii, we talked about education, and we have discussed it here today. We think that there's a lot of injustice going on in the education sector. Recently, when the exams were released, you realized that a particular school or schools, you find almost all the students scored D. All the students in a particular village school also scored A plain. Another school, everybody scored E. This is unfair. And we want to congratulate Linda Jamii, led by Professor Fred Ogola, because they went to court and sought an injunction so that the placement of students into universities and colleges be temporarily stopped, injuncted by the court, until the issues that we raise that are substantive in that particular petition are heard and determined. Because there is no Bunge la Mwananchi when there is no justice. So moving forward, we want to encourage the judiciary to expedite the process of hearing that particular petition so that appropriate orders are issued so that justice is done to those students. So moving forward, I want to thank Bunge la Mwananchi Eldoret branch. Now this is the official Bunge la Mwananchi. We have recognized it here today of Eldoret. We want to urge you members to be vigilant and continue holding your regular meetings as usual. You discuss issues of national interest as you have always been doing, so that moving forward, when the town hall meetings are commissioned at the national office by myself and other officials at the national office, you are in place and you are handy to help deliberate those questions, so that when the Kaloleni sovereignty convention is held, Bunge la Mwananchi Eldoret branch is ably represented, not just by its officials, but by an official resolution of all the members. Thank you very much.